CatSynth TV.
Hey everybody, CatSynth TV, and today we're talking about the 1968 action thriller Bullitt, specifically its connections to San Francisco as well as its music. But before we begin, please subscribe to this channel for a variety of cultural content coming out regularly. Bullitt stars Steve McQueen as San Francisco Detective Lieutenant Frank Bullitt, who is assigned to protect a key Senate committee witness. When the witness is shot and killed under their protection, Bullitt and Detective Delgetti, Don Gordon, embark on an investigation that takes them around San Francisco on a series of twists and turns as they realize things are not really what they seem. The film also stars Robert Vaughn as the ambitious and smarmy Chalmers and Jacqueline Bisset as Bullitt's girlfriend Kathy. But the real star of the film is the city of San Francisco. The streets and landmarks are woven directly into the story and visuals of the movie. Those of us who have lived in San Francisco will undoubtedly recognize many of the locations and streets by sight, and some that no longer exist but whose history and reputation live on. The film starts with the iconic hotel at 999 California Street. There is Chalmers' mansion and the ridiculously expensive row along Broadway in Vallejo and Pacific Heights. Bullitt's home is along Taylor Street in Nob Hill. You look at these spots, these intersections, street signs, and say, yeah, I know where that is. There is also the long-since demolished Embarcadero Freeway running alongside the dump of a hotel where Chalmers' witness is hiding. Bullitt recognizes that a window facing the freeway is probably not the safest thing. I may not have ever experienced the infamous freeway myself, but I recognize it from many photos and videos and relate it to the Embarcadero of today. And then there is the car chase, perhaps one of the great car chases in all of film. Bullitt starts driving his Mustang on Army Street, now Cesar Chavez, which is instantly recognizable even 40 years later. He then turns around at Presida Street and heads up York Street towards Bernal Hill, only to suddenly jump to Potrero Hill, and then down Filbert Street and Russian Hill heading towards North Beach. This is where the high-speed part of the chase begins, as Bullitt veers off Columbus near Bimbo's on a Chestnut, bouncing around the streets of Russian Hill and Pacific Heights, briefly teleporting back to Potrero Hill, and then back to Russian Hill and the wildest part of the chase. They jump around all over the place and eventually down the curvy ramp of Larkin onto Francisco Street and into the marina. Here they quite smoothly travel along Marina Boulevard by Crissy Field and the Golden Gate Bridge, only to suddenly end up on Menzel Street. Menzel Street is in the extreme southern part of the city, traveling through McLaren Park and quite a long way from the marina. The final segment takes us south of the city onto Guadalupe Canyon Parkway over San Bruno Mountain and, well, you know what happens next. Mapping out the entirety of the chases we have done here, we see just how impossible it is. But filmmaking is ultimately about suspension of disbelief. Another important aspect of this film is the music. Lalo Shifrin's jazzy score for horns and percussion sets a tense, moody, but also playful tone for the film that complements the grainy and dark visuals and long gaps between the segments of dialogue and action. And the decadent jazzy music by Meridian West in the restaurant scene with McQueen and Bisset presents a moment of its time. And something a bit wistful for those of us who romanticize the era but were born too late to experience it. Do you have thoughts about Bullitt or its connections to San Francisco then and now? Please let us know in a comment. Thanks for watching. Check out more at www.catsynth.com and please subscribe to CatSynth TV.